Hello and welcome to another episode of the SMEFocus show brought to you by FactoryNOW TV. I'm your host, Chris Greenough, and in this series we will analyse and focus on the SMEs within the British manufacturing sector. Every week we will discuss the opportunities and challenges facing the industry in these unprecedented times. I've worked in the sector for over 26 years and I'm CCO at SDE Technology, one of the leading manufacturers of pressings and assemblies in the UK. So as you can hopefully imagine, this show is very much for manufacturers by manufacturers. I'm pleased to be joined this week by David Dodds, Managing Director at Sackers Ltd. David, hello and welcome. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon, Chris. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you. And good. Loving the sign in the background.
Thank you.
Photo opportunity, exactly what we like on this show. This is all about Sackers, all about you and the company.
Thank you.
So tell us about Sackers and what you do.
Okay, Sackers is a family business based in Suffolk, and we have we put a great deal of thought into retaining our family roots. It's a 95-year-old business now, established in the late 1920s. Scrap metal waste management is our processes now. But we originally started many years ago, like many other recycling industries, rag and bone, jam jars, and metals. And now it's just metals with the waste management side to the business as well.
So, David, you're a long-established company. You would like to say you want to change the way in which we view scrap. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so we want to bring the scrap processing into everyday language, and we need to get away from the Steptoe and Sons image that many people have of scrap processing. Yeah. We're a global business. We pride ourselves being a local company and a family company at that, but we have global outreach. We deal with almost every single country in the world, but we focus mainly in subcontinent, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and China. Okay. So what we're trying to say about the scrap metal is that we employ not just Sackers, but everybody in the industry. We employ technologies that make the recycling of metal so much cleaner, and it's so much better for the environment to recycle as much metal as you possibly can. For carbon footprint, for energy saving, it's really important.
So it's really about changing that perception, which is something I've been sort of banging the drum for a long time for UK manufacturing, changing that perception, not just with the public, but with colleges, with schools, that we aren't the dark ages of UK manufacturing. Things have moved on dramatically. And even in the scrap metal sector, there's technology and there's lots of investment to make the processes leaner and greener.
100% there, Chris. Yes. Just as our business as Sackers, we invested 10 years ago, £3.5–4 million in our shredding capacity. Yeah. Which has changed our business from being a local UK company to a worldwide supply-based company that we can supply all our steel and our ferrous scrap to many different steelworks all around the world. Okay. So that technology on its own, it gives many people in the industry and our business really solid career paths, and that's what we want in our business, is to give opportunities to the apprentices, and I'll come on to apprentices shortly, going and showing career paths within our industry.
Fantastic. And 2020 was a tough year for all businesses. How did you manage your business through the very worst of those times?
Oh, where do you want to start? So, I mean, I'll be absolutely frank with you. The first 2 or 3 months, we were just like rabbits in the headlight. Yeah. Whoa, what's going on here then? And every day was a bad day. Literally every day was a bad day. But like many other people, Chris, I'm absolutely sure that you realize how good a team you've got around you when something like that happens. So the first 3 months, retrench. Cool, what's going on here? What are we going to do? We reevaluated the whole business, every single process that we do, reevaluated the efficiency of it, the actually whether we needed to do that, whether we could outsource in a better way and concentrate on our core business. So we did quite a bit of reevaluation of all our major processes, and here we are, let's say 9 months later, after we reevaluated, rebudgeted, and much stronger business.
Really good to hear. And in September 2020, you appointed a new chairman. How's that changed the business?
Yeah, that was a really important appointment, to be frank with you. Chris Gray is a highly respected member of the industry, not just the scrap industry, but also he's got shipping knowledge. He was the managing director of Felixstowe Ports. He's on the board of JP Morgan, a highly respected member of the business community. What he brought actually to the boardroom was solidifying actually the process that we had in place, but just bringing a more gravitas, but more outside influences, and it's easy to get caught up, especially when you're in a family business and you've got two members of the family who don't work in the business on the board. It was quite a tough gig, but having outside influences made a massive difference to the way that we looked at the business, to the way that we applied different processes to the business.
Which is really good to hear, and having that outside knowledge and experience can actually bring a lot to a business, and as you say, sort of upskill the board, so to speak, because you're dealing with different people. It can become quite insular in a family sort of run company, and it's good to inject that new spirit, and I think that will show dividends in the years to come. Now, you mentioned apprenticeships. You've invested in apprenticeships. Were you doing that before 2020? Obviously, that was a tough year, and then from 2020 going forward?
We hadn't done apprenticeships per se, but since and it's really sort of snowballed out of the furlough situation.
Yes.
So I mean, we are extremely proud to pronounce that we're bringing 6 apprentices throughout the whole of the business, in every single department. Getting good engagement with the local colleges, the local schools, and again, like we said at the top of the meeting, Chris, we're showing that we're giving the opportunities and showing that there is a career path in the scrap metal industry. It's not dark and dirty like it was 40 years ago. This is a genuine career where people can make a career for themselves if they apply themselves in the right manner. We will entertain anybody with the right attitude.
So you've just taken on 6 apprentices. Now, how did you find, from a company who hasn't taken on apprentices before, how did that engagement with the school work?
Okay, so we did it with the local West Suffolk College to start off with, and the engagement was really good. Then it slowed down, then it picked up, and then it tailed off again. We found it quite sporadic, to be frank with you, and we couldn't work out why. There was good engagement for some apprentice roles that we were doing and asking for, and really quite low engagement with the other departments. And we came to the conclusion that there was the 16 to 18-year-olds at the moment have literally, they're just waking up to think, what on earth was 2020 about? What happened there? And they're just starting to, the penny is just dropping. Whoa, that was a little bit difficult. And they're not quite focusing on careers at the moment. Having said that, the engagement that we have got, we've got some excellent candidates that have put their hands up and say, yeah, I'm ready for this. Give me a go. And we're enabling anybody that wants the opportunity, come and see us. We've got an opportunity for you.
So what's really good, I find, is the more that a business deals with a school, it's about educating the school or college as well about your business, what your expectations are for those learners and apprenticeships coming to the business. And I find the more business can get involved with a school or a college, the better the reception is. I think the schools and colleges used to wait for businesses to come to them. I think business needs to do a lot more of going to the schools and colleges and saying, we're ready. Let's see what talent you've got.
That's absolutely right, Chris. You hit the nail really on the head there. What we found, and we used to do it quite regularly up until maybe a couple of years ago now, and definitely nothing in 2020. Yeah. We used to go to the school and give speeches and talks about what the business does. But we also encouraged the young kids, so the junior schools, to come and do tours of our works, both premises, just to see what we do. Because hey, they're the future. They're the future for Sackers. They're the future for every industry. Get them interested in how do we recycle? What energy does it save? How big a carbon footprint saving can we make by not digging up copper in Peru and using all this recycled copper that we produce here? Absolutely,
and those school visits, I've said to schools before now, it's a win-win situation, because you'll have a school visit where out of the 10 kids, 6 of those kids might think, I don't want to work at a place like this, I'm going to work harder at school. But the other 4 will say, this is the sort of career, this is the place I want to work. It's a win for the schools, the business, and for all the kids involved.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got great engagement, really good engagement.
David, 2020 was a tough year for all businesses, but you're going to have a cracking 2021. So tell me about the plans for the rest of this year and beyond.
Okay, so 2021 and beyond is very exciting for Sackers. We've just had our license increased by 60%. Fantastic. So we now have the ability to process through this single yard 125,000 tons of something. So we're allowed to bring in 125,000 tons of raw material to make our products with. Yep. So that on its own means we've got an investment suddenly at board level at the moment going through about 1.7 million quid to upgrade all our processing equipment to be able to process and deliver against all our new contracts that we're going to be taking on. So it's a really important year for us going forward.
Fantastic. So that's really good to hear, David. So you've got apprentices, you've got investment, you've got increased turnover. That has got to be positive and a positive end to the show. Thank you for your time today. That's ticking all the boxes. That's great. Exactly what we want to hear. UK manufacturing leading the way.
Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for your time today, David.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of another show. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to meeting more of our brilliant SME manufacturers like Sackers and like David next week. If you would like to get in touch with the show with a comment, a suggestion, or to appear on a future episode, please email us tv@mtd.media. Brilliant show today. So from me, Chris G at SDE, goodbye.